Team Sky is Hoenn's best evil team, founded several years ago by their esteemed leader, Michael. Team Sky seeks to expand the sky, whatever that means. Throughout Team Sky's history, Michael has assembled various flying squadrons to conquer the skies of various regions, beginning in Hoenn, then Kanto, and most recently having his greatest conquest in the Paldea region. Team Sky even runs a gym now, where Michael realized his true mission is to protect the skies of the Pokemon world. But what if I was a member of Team Sky? As some of you may know, I founded my own evil team 5 years ago with Team Blaze, but in this universe, in this video, I'll become a member of Team Sky instead, and to do that, I'll need my own team. So in today's video, I'll create my own team of 6 to use as a proud member of Team Sky, along with a few rotation Pokemon. So with the intro covered, let's get started. When creating my team for Team Sky, there are some parameters I need to adhere by if I'm to be accepted into this glorious team. The requirements for a Pokemon to be a part of Team Sky have been amended a few times over the years, and while there have been exceptions, a Pokemon must meet at least one of these requirements. A Pokemon must be flying type. A Pokemon must be able to float, levitate, or hover above the ground for extended periods of time. Gliding can be counted in place of flying. Can fly or glide even if it's not flying type. These criteria are pretty simple and easy to meet, but what makes it harder is that the flying type is one of the most abundant types in the game, with flying having been paired with every type in the game at this point. On top of it, besides the multiple regional birds, many Pokemon such as legendary Pokemon and fan favorites like Gliscor and Hawlucha, and even starters like Rowlet are also flying type. Many dragon Pokemon also have the flying type as well, notable examples being Dragonite, Salamence, and Noivern. But I did also mention that there have been some exceptions during the history of Team Sky, the first one being Airbud the Mightyena. During Team Sky's debut conquest of Hoenn, Michael decided to use a Mightyena named Airbud due to Maxie and Archie also using a Mightyena on their evil teams despite their team's themes of fire and water types respectively. During this time, Michael also opted out of using Gyarados despite its being flying type. This was quite the debate for a time, but eventually the requirements would be amended so that only flying types would be allowed, and it did not matter if the Pokemon could actually fly or not, allowing for Gyarados to finally join as a member of Team Sky in Michael's second conquest during his Kanto campaign, introducing Pseudo Sky the Gyarados. The next exception would occur during Michael's Hisui campaign, where Hoots the Rowlet would evolve into Hisuian Decidueye, and no longer be a flying type as it becomes grass fighting upon gaining its final form. But since Hisuian Decidueye can still use its wings to hover and float, it remained on the team. With the team building parameters and exceptions out of the way, let's jump in to the team. My first team member will be my starter Pokemon, Charizard. I'm sorry, Torterra, but if you could fly, then you would be on the team. As much as it pains me to not have Torterra on this team, Charizard is one of my all-time favorite fire types as well as starter Pokemon. An iconic Pokemon from Kanto that is a badass fire dragon Pokemon, well, once it mega evolves, but it still looks like a cool dragon. My love for Charizard of course began when I was a kid, seeing Ash use Charizard with little success in Kanto, but then using Charizard as basically his ace throughout the Orange Islands and Johto, and even being an MVP in the Battle Frontier, notably taking down Nolan's Articuno. My love for this fiery dragon lizard has done nothing but grow over the years due to Ash's Charizard returning in Black and White, Alon's Charizard in XY, and Leon's Charizard more recently in Pokemon Journeys. It's a Pokemon that has never fallen out of favor with me and never will. It's one of the Pokemon that personally for me encapsulates the wonder and awe of what a Pokemon should be. I've always loved the thought of riding on the back of my own Charizard as a kid, and even to this day, it would be cool, and I'm glad Charizard is a ride Pokemon in Sun and Moon. As a member of Team Sky, Charizard had to headline this team. Charizard would be my designated Pokemon to Mega Evolve on this team, and of course I'd be using Mega Charizard X. I will also include movesets for my team members, so Charizard's will be the iconic Flamethrower, Hurricane, Dragon Claw, and Thunder Punch. We have Stab for its 2 types with good coverage for water types and Dragon Stab upon Mega Evolving. Charizard will truly be one of the fiercest Pokemon on my team. My second team member would be the first Sinnoh Pokemon I ever caught, Staraptor. Being my favorite regional bird of all time, this predator Pokemon wasn't gonna miss out on a spot on this team. Staraptor is a strong bird of the sky that helped out Ash through his Sinnoh journey and also helped countless players on their Sinnoh journeys, as this Pokemon is a staple of pretty much every Sinnoh team. Sinnoh is the region I've traversed the most, and more often than not, Staraptor was always on the team. Even going through Hisui and Legends Arceus, I used a Staraptor named Zephyros that was incredibly strong. I can't stress enough how cool of a bird Pokemon that Staraptor is, and just the nostalgia I have alone with this Pokemon will always make this Pokemon have a special place in my heart. I think to make Staraptor a true force on Team Sky, it needs the moves of Brave Bird, Close Combat, Air Slash, and Protect. Brave Bird and Close Combat are pretty much staple moves for any Staraptor moveset, but I'm switching it up with Air Slash, so Staraptor can have a range attack, and then Protect so it can avoid being dealt more damage, since Brave Bird can cause recoil damage. This Pokemon would come packed with lots of strength and glorious hair, and it's my second team member on this squad. Number 3 is going to be the menacing but also goofy Gliscor. Gliscor is one of the absolute best Sinnoh Pokemon and is among the best of the new Gen 4 cross-gen evolutions. They took Gligar and upgraded it immensely. I've loved this Pokemon since it debuted, and I can assure you that is never going to change. I loved watching Gliscor travel with Ash throughout the Sinnoh region. Its performance in the Sinnoh League was incredible, and I'll never forget the time I came across an Alpha Gliscor in Pokemon Legends Arceus. It was imposing and incredibly strong. I even sent a Gligar back in time via Pokemon Home from Brilliant Diamond to Legends Arceus, where I evolved it with a Razor Fang and then sent it back through time as a Gliscor back into Brilliant Diamond, where it proved victorious time and time again. My affinity for Gliscor will never waver, and its moves will be Fire Fang, Acrobatics, Earth Power, and X-Scissor. I've got 2 moves used by Ash, being X-Scissor and Fire Fang, but Fire Fang helps with its weakness to ice. Then there's Acrobatics and Earth Power for powerful stab moves. Gliscor would cause devastating damage with these moves, and I love its intimidation factor. And especially with Acrobatics, it will cause some major damage. Just ask former world champion Leon. Combining the powers of the land and the sky, this will be a powerful team member to bring into the ranks of Team Sky. Team member number 4 is my bird of the night, Honchkrow. Yes, another Pokemon from Sinnoh, because Sinnoh has some of the best Pokemon ever. The Bird of Darkness has helped me most recently in my playthrough of Brilliant Diamond, just like Gliscor in my second Brilliant Diamond playthrough. This Honchkrow was named Darkonia, which I caught in the Grand Underground. It was quite the MVP on the team and has a cool typing of Dark Flying, adding more type diversity to the team. The big boss Pokemon had to be a part of my team for Team Sky, as it has a demanding presence, a strong demeanor, and a stylish boss hat that commands respect. I'm gonna give it the moveset of Dark Pulse, Psychic, Calm Mind, and Aerial Ace. Great stab and coverage, and this is roughly the same moveset that I used for it in BDSP. Being Italian myself, I love having a sort of mob boss Pokemon on my team. This Pokemon would easily strike fear into the enemies of Team Sky and would be a great asset in helping the team achieve its goals. I was always a fan of this great Gen 4 cross-gen evolution like many others, and Paul's Honchkrow was also great to watch in the anime, even though it beat the crap out of Ash's Turtwig and Grottle, but I'm gonna let it slide because this is for the glory of Team Sky. Honchkrow would definitely be a menace to deal with. The penultimate team member will be the most godly Pokemon of the sky after our Lord and Savior Rayquaza, Crobat. Crobat is a part of the trio of Pokemon on this team that I've used the most, the first being Staraptor and the second being Crobat. Crobat has assisted many a time on a playthrough of a Pokemon region. These include my first journey in Heart Gold through the Johto region and then to Kanto. Being part of the team for a short while in both Sun and Ultra Sun helped me during my travels through Gen 2 Johto in both Silver and Crystal, and for those who remember the early days of my channel when I was doing a Pokemon Emerald Let's Play, Crobat was a huge MVP on that team. Crobat is absolutely one of my favorite flying type Pokemon, and I've even talked about how it's my favorite poison type here on the channel. Its moveset here on the team will be Cross Poison, Steel Wing, Shadow Ball, and Aerial Ace. Great stab moves with Shadow Ball letting it deal with Psychic types, and Steel Wing helping it deal with Rock and Ice types. Crobat is one of the best flying type Pokemon around, with marvelous speed stats, excellent attacking power, and able to tough it out in a battle, making it more than worthy of a spot in Team Sky. Now, I'm not just using a team of 6 Pokemon, I also have 3 other glorious creatures of the sky that I shall use in rotation, being Gyarados, Togekiss, and Kilowattrel. Gyarados is another one of those Pokemon I've used time and time again in a playthrough, from my first several journeys in Sinnoh, to my travels through Alola, and a short time in Galar, Heart Gold, and Pokemon Y, its most prominent roles being in Gens 4 and 7, helping me through Sinnoh, Johto, and Alola. I would use Gyarados before finding out that Weasel existed and adding that to my team. In Johto, I of course had to use the glorious red Gyarados that I battled amidst the raging waters of the Lake of Rage, and in Alola this ferocious water serpent was instrumental in my early battles of the Island Challenge. With the killer and iconic design, it is one of my all-time favorite water types, and its moves on this team will be Dragon Dance, Ice Fang, Surf, and Dragon Tail. Togekiss, I've explained on the channel before, is my favorite fairy-type Pokemon. It perfectly combines elegance and grace with power and strength. It's a formidable opponent on Cynthia's champion team from Sinnoh, sports the amazing fairy flying type, and has access to a wide array of moves. The one and only time I've ever used one on an official team was back in Heart Gold, where somehow most of my team was actually flying type, since I ended up using Meganium, Red Gyarados, Ho-Oh, Crobat, Pidgeot, and Butterfree. Oh my god. Was I always destined to be a member of Team Sky? I just absolutely love the beauty and majesty of Togekiss, and its moveset here would be Sky Attack, Moon Blast, Mystical Fire, and Aura Sphere. Finally, we have my glorious Thunderbird, Kilowattrel. This thunderous bird of the sky was crucial in my journey through the Paldea region and was named Raimundo, named after the character from Shaolin Showdown whose element is wind. Kilowattrel is easily in my top 4 favorite regional birds, and I relied on it heavily during my playthrough in Pokemon Scarlet. Excellent typing, and it fought in almost every battle. It swept Kofu's team in Cascarafa, helped out against Iono, and made quick work of Brassius and Katie alongside Lil Chili, my boy Coco, at that time in the game. I absolutely love this Pokemon, and its moveset here would be Thunderbolt, Air Slash, Quick Attack, and Roost. My final team member for my team is going to be the classic Butterfree. Butterfree is a fan favorite, it never gets old, and is the last Pokemon in the aforementioned trio I've used the most, meaning the Pokemon here I've used the most on the main team are Staraptor, Crobat, and Butterfree. Butterfree was part of my original Heart Gold team, helped out for a time in both of my journeys through Alola, and was absolutely my MVP on my Let's Go Pikachu adventure where I named it MVB, Most Valuable Bug. A simple design, close attachment to it because of Ash's in the anime. I even added it to my contest team when I made my video discussing if I was a Pokemon coordinator, which somehow most of those Pokemon are also flying type. It's true, I was destined for Team Sky! Butterfree would be one of the best Pokemon on my team, and if you've heard me talk about it before, then you should know the moveset I'm about to give it. Quiver Dance, Air Slash, Bug Buzz, and Psychic. This moveset wreaked havoc in the Kanto region in Let's Go Pikachu, especially against Team Rocket, because most of the time it just takes one Quiver Dance and then I can sweep with Psychic, which is exactly what I did against Koga in Fuchsia City, albeit taking 2 Quiver Dances to set up. Butterfree would also be my designated Pokemon capable of Gigantamax, if able to do so within the battle. It's got one of the best G-Max forms available to us, the wings are super imposing and intimidating, yet beautiful, and it just gives me massive Mothra vibes. Despite being an early bug Pokemon, it's gotten better over time, and with this moveset, I believe every Butterfree has a chance at greatness, with mine being a perfect example. So to recap my team to join the ranks of Team Sky, I shall be using Charizard, Butterfree, Crobat, Staraptor, Honchkrow, and Gliscor. Lots of fan favorites here, Pokemon I'm very familiar with and plenty I've used before, alongside with Gyarados, Togekiss, and Kilowattrel in rotation. I'm sure with this outstanding unit of a team, I can ascend to greatness within the ranks of Team Sky and help in Team Sky's admirable cause. Go Team Sky! But why not leave your team in the comments if you were to join Team Sky? What Pokemon would you use? What would their moves be? And until next time, continue to train hard, and I'll catch you guys later.